On the anniversary of his wife's untimely death, a man convinces her twin sister to perform a ritual to allow him to see her again. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Justin. Here we focus on your favorite content from streaming services and in theaters. If you guys love to watch movies and shows like I do, you guys are in the right spot. Today we're going to be talking about the newest Shudder original horror film, An Unquiet Grave. Now, this film is probably one of the more subtle horror films I have seen in a while. It's a pretty short film, about an hour and 15 minutes. It gets straight to the point. There's only two characters involved in the film. A man who lost his wife in a car accident about a year ago, and her twin sister, Ava. This guy, Jamie, is wanting to perform a ritual so he can see his wife again. Not trying to spoil it for anybody, but if you've seen Pet Sematary, you might like this film. Like I said, it's very subtle, and it touches on the themes of grief very often in the film. Since Ava's twin sister Julia and Jamie's wife Julia, her death was very untimely, both Ava and Jamie are dealing with this grief. They really don't know how to move forward from what had happened, and that sets up the main plot of the film, is that they want to perform a ritual to allow them to see her again. This is a film where a lot of things are hidden from the supporting cast. Jamie has an idea of what he wants to do with the ritual, and he's using Ava as a way to help him. He knows more than what he is giving to Ava and what is showing on the screen. So the anticipation of kind of like a big twist or what's going to happen with it, that suspense leading up to it is really great, because this is a really small horror film. It's very isolated. It's in the woods. It's very dark. And that matches the overall tone of the movie, the grief that is within these two characters. And they've kind of been stuck for quite some time, and this is a chance for them to either move on from this is a chance for them to either accept the death or try something new. And Jamie's in this emotional state, and he'll try anything he can to see his wife again. He knows more than he lets on, and he's really manipulating Ava into getting what he wants. And that honestly is a realistic way of approaching this film in grief, because anybody that's lost a parent or a family member or a wife or husband, brother, sister, whoever, someone important in your life, I'm sure at some point in your life that you said to yourself, I would do anything to see them again. And this is what Jamie is doing. He will do anything to see his wife again, and that's using Ava. I don't want to spoil what happens, because it did catch me by surprise. I thought for quite some time in the film that the two of them together were working on this ritual, and then he had different ideas about the ritual and what he wanted out of it. Now, this isn't a kind of jump scare horror film. There's not a lot of scary moments that just kind of pop out. What makes this film so horrific, that the grief that is surrounding these two characters and how they handle it, and the unknown of the ritual as well, and how far someone will go. The plot and the dialogue all feels very tight, and make sure it just focuses on these two characters, the grief surrounding them, and the ritual. It doesn't really go any further than that. It doesn't go deep into the wife's death. It doesn't offer any other new characters. It's very content on being just very small with these two characters in the woods, make it feel very claustrophobic at times and just very tight. And that allows for a lot of character growth and understanding their grief and the emotions surrounding these two characters, and watching them kind of navigate their grief and dealing with the loss of the sister and the wife. And the mood of the overall film matches what the characters are feeling. It's very dark, it's very moody, and you can feel that emotional state of these characters with all of the shots of this house that eventually they do visit. The lighting, the camera work. I like how it does match the story and how the characters are feeling. It's not very bright at all, because the characters aren't feeling bright. They're unhappy with what has happened. So An Unquiet Grave is not for everybody. It's a really kind of slow, subtle horror film that just focuses on grief and what people will do to see someone that they lost. But I think that the characters handled those emotional moments very well. The tone matches the overall story of the film. It's shot pretty good, and there's a lot of surprises thrown throughout the movie. It's a pretty simple horror film. It's on Shudder now, so check it out if you are interested in how people handle grief, kind of like Pet Sematary, just a little bit. So check it out on Shudder. So I'm gonna go ahead and give An Unquiet Grave a B-. Thank you guys for checking my review for the new horror film on Shudder. Stay tuned. I got a few more Shudder reviews coming your way in the next couple weeks. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.